Hey everybody, David Andrews here. I'm filming the moon. It's a beautiful night, just past the full moon in Aries. We are October 5th, 2020. And just up and to the right, I'm gonna see if I can catch Mars. There's a beautiful planet Mars hanging out this evening. And the astrology is really quite fascinating right now. And then we're gonna make a little shift. It's really dark out here, but I'm just gonna take a few steps and point the camera to the southwest. And there we have, where did it go? We had it a second ago. There it is. Now you're seeing Jupiter, and just up, and can't quite make it out. It's not quite bright enough. We have Jupiter and Saturn are conjunct. These are the planetary bodies that you can see just with your eyes here this evening. I'm circling back over there is the moon. So what does that have to do with meditation and what's happening in the world? So the reason I wanted to share this with you is sometimes our meditations can be influenced or enhanced or magnified by what's happening in the cosmos. So when you tune into the frequency of the moon cycles, the full moon and then the new moon cycles, you know, the timing of that is of course very regular, very systematic. It can have a nice influence when you start to notice the feelings, because we know the moon impacts the ocean tide, and of course we are mostly water, so it's clearly going to influence ourselves as well. And so as you watch the moon cycles, the planetary cycles, the planets going retrograde, the planets going direct, multiple planets going conjunct. I'm going to just circle back here and give you another shot of, if we can find it again. And that is Jupiter right over there. Let's see, I better zoom in a little bit more. Let's see if we can catch a really good picture of it. All this is just with an iPhone. Of course, if you have a really good zoom camera, you can get a much better picture. There's a little cloud in front of Jupiter right now. But the last time Jupiter and Saturn were conjunct, this close to one another, was in 1608. So it's been a very long time. And that can have a major influence on events. So, give you one more shot of the moon here while we wrap up this short experience visiting some of the cosmic bodies that are influencing our meditations. So one of the things that I highly recommend is to do your meditation in the dark. Like we're seeing right now, where I'm outside, it's dark out here. So you could sit under a tree, by the lake, anywhere where it's a bit dark. Obviously there's a lot of lights here in the city. But if you can find a dark room in your house, maybe in the basement with not a lot of light coming in the windows, or do it in the evening or in the early morning hours. Or what I sometimes do is just wear an eye mask. That can be a great way to block out all light from your eyes, because of course the light will penetrate right through your eyelids unless you cover that up, or be in a very dark room. So when you meditate in the dark, it creates light within. The light being the melatonin and the other compounds released by your pineal gland. These things can activate then the right hemisphere of your brain. And the power of this meditation to activate our awareness, our consciousness, is amplified when we meditate in the dark. Because out of the darkness emerges the light. The light within shines in the darkness, and you see the light within with your eyes closed and everything completely black. You actually see the light within. And that's a powerful example of what can happen when we really tune into ourselves and the power that we are. And just to quote something that Jesus said, he said, "If your eye be single, your whole body will fill with light." And that's exactly what happens in meditation. By going into the dark, by looking inside, we actually see the light. We see the light within, which is an example of the power within and the ability to maintain our composure in stressful situations, the ability to stay calm under pressure, the ability to stay peaceful and loving in the face of adversity, in the face of conflict, to be able to handle conflict, handle stress, handle the negative emotions that might arise, and to work through them with more grace, with more ease, with more kindness. These are the things that we achieve when we meditate in the dark, when we get to know what's happening in the cosmos, when we tune into the great creation that is all around us, when we feel the vibration of nature. These are all things that will accentuate and build our consciousness, and build our peace of mind, and build our ability to withstand adversity. And so I wanted to just share a little bit about the night sky and this opportunity to meditate in the dark, and the fact that it will help turn on and activate the parts of our brain we're not used to using, primarily the right hemisphere of the brain. And there's a lot more we could say about that, and especially what Jesus taught about these things, maybe in a future session. But for this evening, I hope you enjoyed this quick tour of the moon, the planet Mars, and the planets Jupiter and Saturn here in Minneapolis, in the Northern Hemisphere, October 5th, 2020. And these two planets of Jupiter and Saturn will be traveling together, and they are entering the zodiac sign of Sagittarius. And that is also significant. It means that we are entering a phase when truth about our world is getting revealed, and things are happening at a very rapid pace. Revolution, goodness, overcoming evil forces, all those things are in motion, and all those things are influenced by these planetary movements. And so if you're interested or curious to study a bit more about astrology, I would highly recommend learning a little more and delving in and looking up the power of Jupiter and Saturn traveling together into the constellation Sagittarius. And all you have to do is go outside in the evening and look up on a clear night, and they're right there, shining bright. And that's the beauty of being able to go outside and just look up and look out and see what we see. So I hope you have a fabulous meditation in the dark. I hope you will share in the comments how that goes for you, what you experience, and if you can consistently do your meditation in the dark, in silence. I would love to hear what your benefits are and if it impacts you in a positive way. Happy meditating.